All right, team, let's review the current sprint backlog. Lisa, how are we looking on the new authentication module?
Thank you, David. The authentication module is due to be on track. We have the core features nearly wrapped up, and I've proactively started sharing ownership of the database integration with Sarah from backend. This should avoid any ring fencing to keep things flowing smoothly.
Excellent, Lisa. That proactive shared ownership is key for team velocity. Arjun, your turn. How's the user interface for the user profile section? We discussed prioritizing those critical bug fixes first.
Why are you telling me to stop working on this? I know you said to do that bit first, but I'd rather finish what I've been working on, what I've started. It's nearly done, and I really don't want to keep switching it up all the time.
We need to distinguish between tasks that need immediate attention versus those that can be delayed. Bug fixes directly impact the user experience and system stability, so they are the priority. The UI refactor can wait until the next sprint.
I just don't have enough time in the day to keep jumping between all these different things. I'm always feeling really behind, no matter what I'm trying to do. If I keep stopping and starting on all these different things, I'll never get anything properly finished. I've really spent all morning trying to finalize all this planning for the refactoring, but we really can't start until every detail is locked in.
We need to execute, spending excessive time managing and updating plans instead of executing tasks holds us back. Let's get those critical bugs fixed first. Can you switch focus immediately?
Fine, but it feels inefficient. And what about the API integration? I don't really think anyone else can start on their front-end responsibilities until my refactoring is complete. We really need to finish this before we can start anything else, even when the workstreams could proceed independently.
Let me just clarify. Many work streams can proceed independently if we correctly identify those dependencies. And as we have done that and we factor them in, we can decouple those tasks. The UI refactor does not block the API integration work last time I checked, so we can discuss how to decouple if you are concerned.
I just wish I could just focus on one thing without being pulled into something else.
So, the new data analytics module our client has given us a tight budget of £50,000 and a 6-week time frame. Our goal is to deliver a functional product within these limitations.
So I've been researching this new AI-driven anomaly detection algorithm, and it's really cutting edge, really modern stuff. It's got NLP, deep learning, all that kind of stuff. It's completely unmatched. This is the only correct way I can see us building this.
That sounds impressive, Arjun, but what about the cost? That kind of advanced algorithm typically requires significant computing resources and specialized developer time. What is the estimated cost associated with this?
We can figure all that out later. Let's just focus on the ideal solution first. The technical excellence here would be a huge selling point. And I really feel if we keep improving it, it's not really the best option right now. So I'd say we start selling the cars to stay profitable.
I think we need to be reminded of the relationship between quality, cost, and time, as well as understanding how adjusting one will impact the others. If we go all in on this technical excellence, we will go over budget, we will miss our deadline and strain our resources. Our client will not be happy with this.
It's just a small change, and we really don't need to think about how it affects the other parts that much. I really focus on making this part really perfect, and I really don't see why it's not even worth looking at the other error margins for something which is easily the better option.
We have to be realistic, Arjun. Optimizing a subsystem for efficiency without considering its impact on manufacturing constraints or other system-wide risks is a common pitfall.
I mean, I still think it's the best approach, but I guess we could simplify the model if absolutely necessary. I just don't have the information to really make the right choice about simplifying without compromising the quality.
Lisa, how's the overall progress of the next release?
We're doing well, David. Been discussing with the team and been holding members accountable for their agreed upon responsibilities. We've been proactively discussing progress as well as addressing any deviations. I think we're balancing oversight without infringing on employee autonomy.
Excuse me, David, Lisa, I have an update on my current task, the data migration script. It's really behind schedule. I really think that I need to let you guys know about this, so here's a little notice, and then hopefully we can adjust the plans for the team accordingly. I encountered an unexpected schema mismatch, but I've already started working on a workaround, so hopefully that should help us there.
Thank you for the proactive update, Arjun. That's really helpful for future planning. Have you updated your Jira ticket yet?
Yeah, I have. I've noted my progress very clearly, so everyone else can see the current status of the project. I also added some comments about the mismatch and also what I'm planning to work around with it. And I'm ensuring that I'm updating it most of the time, so the status can be quickly checked without any kind of interruptions.
That's excellent, Arjun. Providing regular and accurate status updates is crucial for avoiding unexpected delays. It gives us a clear visibility. Do you see any foreseen blocked tasks for others because of this?
Not at the moment. I've checked that this task aligns with any of our other overall goals before spending any additional time on any of the minor details. But at the moment, I don't think it will block anyone downstream. But I'll keep a close eye, just in case that changes.
That's good to hear. Your thoughtfulness is very much appreciated, Arjun. Good work.
All right, team. As we transition this module to maintenance, robust documentation is paramount. Lisa, how are we ensuring knowledge transfer?
We're making sure that everything is thoroughly documented. I always emphasize that the best engineers produce documentation so that others can follow in their footsteps. Preventing knowledge loss will allow us to successfully mitigate the risks that comes with a flexible and changing team.
I completely agree. Documenting the key steps, which I've done, is really useful for making sure others can use the system if I'm not available. I've also put together a README file, so that way we can determine the API endpoints and know their usage and examples.
That's fantastic, Arjun. Making sure that knowledge is accessible to the team is crucial.
Absolutely. I've updated the team wiki as well with all the steps on how to set up the IDE. I've also documented the core technical process and all of that stuff because it's really important for the long-term maintenance of the system. But I'm also making sure the project notes are quite light as the project documentation is more kind of transient. I've also made a document of what we did, why we did it, and also I'm working on an exit strategy for automation.
That's exactly what we needed, Arjun. Documenting the rationale and the strategy behind our solutions, not just the what, is a mark of a truly good engineer. It ensures continuity, helps future teams understand our approach. It also helps with compliance and legal protection down the line. It may not necessarily improve the design.
Yeah, so it doesn't improve the design, but it ensures we're compliant and protected legally. And I also kept some detailed records of the questions and challenges that were raised during our discussion meetings to really kind of ensure we're accountable to some of the objections that could occur.
That's impressive, Arjun. You've really taken ownership of this project and made it maintainable for the long term. Good work.